Next up, we are now in Phase 4, the 25th title of the MCU, and we're talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3 of 6. I'm going to go ahead and give it up. I had a lot of fun again. Want to hear your guys' initial thoughts, initial gut reactions. Before we do that, just very quickly, what happened last week on Episode 2? All right, so the new Captain America is mostly okay, but maybe a bit unhinged. Maybe has a little bit of a temper, but mostly okay so far. The Flag Smashers are super soldier freedom fighters who are mad at the government because people are back and alive. And they're like trying to steal medicine and help the people that have been here the whole time. And they're freedom fighters. They're trying to help people, and they're working with someone called the Power Broker. And this is the person that is somehow created, somehow, and distributing Super Soldier Serum, which up until this point, us as MCU fans know Super Soldier Serum to just not exist. Ever since Captain America, he was the only one. Okay, well, here we are, almost 100 years later, and people have figured it out. And we also met Isaiah Bradley, the black Captain America that no one knew about, and apparently went to jail for 30 years for wearing the Captain America suit in the 50s. So much to be unpacked there. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier do go to visit Zemo, the bad guy from Captain America Civil War, right where we left him in a cell. That's where this movie's going to pick up. In Episode 4, PC Mike, let's start with you. Episode 3, The Power Broker, coming in at 54 minutes, just for description's sake. I have it here on the screen. Sam and Bucky go to a criminal safe haven to find information about the Super Soldier Serum. PC Mike, what'd you think of this week's episode?
I mean, I think it falls kind of right in line with everything that we've seen so far. A lot of action, a lot of great-looking fight scenes. Story is very one way. Kind of see where it's going. We added a new character. I couldn't get over the accent. What is his name in this?
Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
And, he's played by
our guy Quinn, right?
Daniel Bruhl.
That wasn't, what's his face? From, I thought it was from The Boys. The guy that he looks like from The Boys.
Oh, my
Quaid.
God. Quaid. Who was
Dennis Quaid's son?
No, that's not
Jack
him.
Quaid?
Jack Quaid.
He looks exactly like him. I thought it was him the whole time.
Like Huey from The Boys?
Yeah,
No,
I thought it was him the whole time. I was like, man, this guy looks exactly like that. I was like, he's
no-
really going different, crossing over.
No wonder you thought the accent was so
Yeah,
weird.
that's what I thought it. I thought it was
No, this
Jack
is
Quaid the whole time.
This is Daniel Bruhl coming back as Baron Zemo.
Do you see it though?
I see it a little bit, but like I'm such a diehard MCU that like I was excited to see what will Baron Zemo be like now. I'm looking through the lens of like
I saw it. Totally changed my accent comment because I was like, Jack Quaid's doing this crappy.
If you thought it,
Like,
I guarantee if you thought it, someone else did.
But no, it was fine. I mean, I said again, Patreon. If you're on Patreon, it's not doing it for me like WandaVision did.
Yeah, so you're definitely still with WandaVision above this, and
Yeah.
you had said this too, that Loki, that trailer, you got immediately like more excited
Loki
for that.
a little bit. This is just action. This is just pumping action.
I'm with you. I've said this before that like the Winter Soldier movies, I know like how good they are, but like if you're asking me my preference of types of story, I love the magical multiverse, like what could happen, anybody can come to life. This is espionage, action.
Mm-hmm.
They are cutting through dialogue like nothing. It's like, yeah, okay, now they're moving on to this bad guy they got to go find.
Yeah, now we're in a different country. Now we're in Germany. Now we're here. Now we're here.
We're on the plane.
Yeah.
Giggler, how did you feel about this week?
I loved it. Just on par with the rest.
Yes.
And now that we're finally getting to see where things are going and where they maybe are headed. I mean, there's still so many. Like you said, I got a bunch of theories right. And
Dude,
stuff
yeah,
like
I'm going to
that,
give up for you. There were like 4 times when I was watching the carry. I go, God damn, he called that too. I was like, this guy, you called some like really specific stuff. I can't wait to bring up.
Okay.
Because like, here's what's exciting. It's not that you called some things. Because some of the stuff you called, you could have guessed would happen in the show. It was that at the end of episode 2, you said, I think these things will happen next. And they did.
All right, go through them.
Okay, so let's just cover real quick what happens in this one. Just like kind of some top level stuff. One, we meet the Global Repatriation Council at the very beginning. That was like the public service announcement. This is the GRC. They're the people, I guess, that are bringing people back into the world. They're like, we're here to help you find your way, to help you get back to normal, to reset, restore, and rebuild. And like all I was thinking was, this is super timely. It
Yeah.
felt like it was a video like that could have been on the news
Oh God,
like right now.
I didn't even think of that. You're right.
We were like, Carrie looked at me. She's like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yeah, that's
I love
too
how,
close to home."
I love how these shows though have like been including the snap of how it affected
Yes.
different people.
I
That
do
is
too.
cool.
It's
That's
a cool component of the story because half of the multiverse, you know. New Captain America and Battlestar, we get them at the beginning. They're hitting dead ends, and he's getting frustrated. He basically, that guy spits in his face. He's not having it. Pushes him
Yep.
against the wall, and he's like, "Do you know who I am?"
You can see his dark side
Well, guess what?
growing.
Picture if Steve Rogers was in that situation. What would he have done? Like, he would have literally been like, "Listen, we're gonna figure this out." You know, he's just Steve Rogers. This guy blew a gasket immediately.
Well, he's got a lot of pressure on him, and people aren't giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Steve
That one
Rogers
guy
didn't
even-
have a lot of pressure on him.
I mean, yes, he did, but this guy's following in his footsteps.
Yeah, and he's like a young generation too. He's like,
Yeah, even
he's
that
a
guy.
millennial.
Even that guy said, like, he's like, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "I don't care."
I don't care at all.
Yeah, like, wouldn't that piss you off though?
Yeah.
If you're Captain America and that guy just said that,
He's like,
Yeah, you're
I'd
right.
probably crack his neck.
And like, who are you? Like, why would I know who you are?
Yeah.
you're the main character of Up.
But yeah, what you called a comicbook.com. You're talking about stuff you called. Like, that was spot on. They put out a whole meme about it. Literally the Up guy
It looks
in
exactly
the
like
outfit.
him.
It was so
It
great.
was bad.
All right, this is something you specifically called. I mean, I think we all knew this, but Bucky and Sam did immediately break out Baron Zemo. Like,
Yes.
immediately. Like, he's talking to him, and then he's there.
I loved how they did that scene too.
I did
where
too.
they just kind of talked you through it as it happened,
Yeah,
and
and
then he just appears.
which is insane that he literally just like, that's the guy that framed Bucky for killing King T'Chaka in Captain America Civil War. Like, he killed Black Panther's dad. And Bucky's just like, all right. Sam's like, what are we doing here? But they get over it pretty quickly because they need him
Very quickly.
to find out more about Hydra and find the person that's making the super soldier serum. So Daniel Bruhl, I love Daniel Bruhl in this. I just wanted to give it up for him.
He was so good.
So I thought
He was so good. I thought it was somebody else.
Here's what I loved about it. This was me watching through the lens of an MCU diehard fan. I remember the character from Civil War. He ends in a really dark place trying to kill himself and is saved and like put in prison. And now it's been so long since Civil War. I mean, it's been like 7 years.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 years and then the blip.
Yep.
Doesn't look like he was blipped. He's here and he's like sour. He's just like whatever at this point.
Mhm.
I've been in prison. He's having fun. He's kind of like the part where he's dancing in the club.
His cars are sweet.
Oh
too.
yes, he's a great. I mean, he's getting like the Loki treatment. Like he's a bad guy
Redemption.
that you now want to like. But I think this is pretty temporary. He's not gonna.
I know. And
He's not gonna be like an Avenger going forward. He's gonna do something to screw this all up.
Yes, but right now he's playing the part, and apparently he's mega rich, has vast resources, and he's like, hey, get on my plane. I'm taking us to Madripoor. All right, Madripoor, guys. This is a fictional island in Southeast Asia, mostly associated to X-Men stories in the comics. This is from Fandom. Appreciate the assist there.
We doing this?
But-
Again,
and here's some
Again?
here's some backstory on Madripoor. He says they're saying they have a really old history and they have their own way of doing things, and it's like this futuristic, almost like crime city. And I've seen so many fun things of like, do you think we'll get mutants on Madripoor? Do you think we'll get this on Madripoor? From what I can tell, Madripoor is like this blank slate to where they can do anything they want.
What's gonna happen is like 2 years down the road, we're gonna see a movie and be like, you see in that background of Falcon and Winter Soldier, there was a mutant right there. That's the mutant.
Hey, Andy did a good job keeping me in check last week with theories. And now I'm like terrified to make any.
now I'm gonna just start
Well,
making them left and right.
that's why I
Well,
said
especially
2 years.
with Madripoor. Yeah, that's true.
2 years. You can't check me in 2 years.
It might be a slow game with this mutants thing. You guys might be onto something here. Okay, so he's got them on this plane. They're flying to Madripoor. Pause here in a minute because we got the whole thing in Madripoor. But this is where you called another really specific thing. You said the book that Bucky was carrying reminded you of
Oh yeah.
Steve's list from Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's literally the bookmark in his book, and it opens it up and he goes, "There's Steve's list."
You're too deep.
How did you? I was like, how did he call? I was like, I also got that.
Were you mad that he called it and you didn't?
No, I thought I also understood that
It's-
feeling, but I was like, I think it's just meant to be like similar, but like it's legit in the book.
It's callbacks in fan service. Like that's what they want to do with these small
Yes.
shows that are like drilling down to just like a couple characters. And
How'd that paper survive so long?
Well, this is his new list. This is whenever he comes back out of the ice, he's writing down things
Okay.
that people are telling him to try. Well, Bucky's list is like Hydra people that he's not taken out, but he's like trying to make all of his wrongdoings right again.
yeah. Well, just now that we're just like stroking me and patting me on the back, I'm just gonna point out one other thing that I said weeks ago when the
Please.
trailer for this show came out. That one of the locations was a X-Men heavy place.
Yes, you did. You did. That was because that
Don't
was
forget about that one.
several episodes. It's funny that I'm trying to pump you up, but I forgot stuff.
It's okay. It's okay.
No,
I'm here to remind you at all times.
You called that too. I
When
feel like this type of movie, like you're locked in. You're dialed into
This is you. This is your lane.
Okay. Now I'm not scared. Remember last week when I was scared to make predictions?
You were, but that was only because you had seen WandaVision first.
Yeah.
But think about if you would have seen Falcon and Winter Soldier first, how cocky you would have been during WandaVision, and you would have got so many wrong.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so more on Madripoor. This is a country where literally anything can happen. They've adhered to their own rules, and so in this place,
Heck
these
yeah, Madripoor.
these three go undercover. All right, Sam goes undercover. He's like, why do I look like a pimp? And he's wearing those heels. He can't run in those heels. Bucky is playing the Winter Soldier, working for Zemo, who's now back, and he's they're here to find Selby. This is this short-haired woman who ends up getting killed pretty much immediately, but does lead them to find Dr. Wilfred Nagel. And this is the guy making the super soldier serum. Okay, but not before she showed up right away, right on cue. Sharon Carter, played by Emily Van Camp, is in this episode finally. So she's part of the story. She's in Madripoor. She's been in hiding since Civil War. I love her too. Again, this is a person it's been 7 years. She's scorned.
She's bitter.
She's bitter.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
making fun of Bucky. She's like, you were all buddy before you were the assassin. And he's like, oh, she's terrible now. I was like, I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I think she's good. I'd be mad too.
She's different.
She's been, she could never go back home ever. And Sam's like, hey, I had to go on the run too. She's like, big difference
2 years.
between was and is.
Yeah.
And then even at the end, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything.
Nah, that's fine. We're talking
She's
about, we said spoiler alert.
He's
Go
like,
ahead.
you want to come back with us, basically? And she's like, yeah, I can't.
Well, she
Thanks.
says, let me know when
Yeah.
that pardon comes through.
Yeah, she's trying to get that pardon.
She's dealing art, like real expensive art. That's how she's doing it. And I'm just gonna say this: she is like John Wick level badass. She took at least 15 bounty hunters with hand combat,
Yeah,
hand-to-hand
she's awesome.
combat. So she's obviously, I think she's been doing some training.
I think she's the bright spot of this episode.
I think they're setting her up to be
Something.
like the new. I mean, make her the new Black Widow.
Yeah, throw in another TV show, Marvel.
Maybe it'll be just somebody even cooler though, because I think we're still getting that Black Widow. Okay, so we meet Dr. Nagel. This ends up being a scientist that is brought on by the power broker. We don't know who the power broker is at the end of this.
I have no freaking clue still.
We still don't know,
You
right?
don't even have a clue? How do you
don't
think I would
You
have
really
a
don't
clue?
have an idea?
I just have a wild theory now after watching this episode that it's going to be someone that we don't know, but this person is going to directly connect to X-Men down the road, or not, maybe now.
Or maybe now.
Just please be right.
All right.
If not,
I mean, they did
Whatever.
say like there's 3. I mean, we'll make connections all day, but there's like 3 huge connections this show makes.
oh yeah, you said connections to other
Yeah.
properties.
Ventures.
So
to other properties, yes.
I don't know. That's just my guess. I have no clue who it could be.
All right, that's fine. Well, we don't know who it is, but we know that this doctor ended up making 20 of these vials. He was the one that texted the Flag Smasher chick. Remember, you brought up that text where he's like, you took something that was mine in episode 2?
Mm-hmm.
This was that guy. He's Dr. Nagel. She said, Carly's this main redheaded chick who's like, they are focusing on in the Flag Smasher group. And the scientist, Dr. Nagel, he gives some information over to the guys, ends up getting killed. And we learn more about this Carly chick. She's taking care of some sick lady. And then she's like, I want to be a teacher maybe after this. I don't know if you caught that, teacher.
I did.
But she's like, I want to be a teacher. And you think like, oh, these guys are just, they're okay. They're just trying to get to this life they can have until the end of the show. She literally blows up a building with a bunch of people in it.
Not gonna look good on the resi.
She's like, this is the only language these people speak. So like, I'm like, okay, you think they're okay? The guy's like surprised. He's like, what are we doing? And she's like, that's what we got to do. So she's a killer.
Yeah, she sucks.
All right, so they're gonna go find this Carly chick. That's where they're going next because they've talked to this person. They know who to find. The question is, who's gonna end up with these serum doses? There were 20.
That means there's 12 more.
There's probably like 12 or so, right? Because we know that there are at least 8 to 10 people. I think one of them. We've talked about this theory. I feel like it is going to end up in the new Captain America.
Captain,
yeah.
And think about this. So that was made with Isaiah's blood when he was captured in jail.
That was a big piece of how he made it. There was one person he could test.
Yeah, and he's still alive. So
They're gonna make more?
is somebody gonna go after him?
Yeah.
If they find out how they made it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could definitely
our
happen.
new Captain America gets a little desperate.
That's what
Big villain turn.
Yeah, like he's hitting dead end, and then just an update on him in this episode. He tells Battlestar, "We're going off on our own now." Like he's like, "We're not following the government rules anymore." So he's already doing some desperate moves. The team gets blown up by a rocket launcher in the end. That was pretty awesome. Shoot a rocket launcher right in the building. Zemo kills that scientist, and then it looks like he ran away, but then he pulls up in a convertible and he's like, "Get in."
Do more impersonations.
There's been a lot of.
I don't want to piss off Mike.
No, now it's a different guy. I love it. I did think like he had some like warts or something on his face. I'm like, man, they did good prosthetics on old Huey.
Old Huey, he looks totally different.
I don't think he looks that different from that picture.
I think he looks. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can't. It's hard for me because I already know what I see. Do you see it?
A little bit now.
Thank you.
Okay.
But I just knew.
I watched it today, and I was just. Like,
I knew the actor's name from Civil War and everything. So
I liked when Sam had to take that shot that was made from a cut up snake.
Favorite part of the whole episode.
He just took it too.
He just like.
I thought when the bartender was like gonna move away, he's gonna like puke or do something, but no,
he's like, I love this. That was my favorite quote of the whole movie. You could just tell how much he hated to say that, but that was a great scene overall. I was like, also, let's see, if anyone has a bachelor party coming up, let's go to Madripoor.
Madripoor looks
like
I was gonna say if you're wondering how I feel about Madripoor, I'm all about it. Like the vibe was cool. I like the organized crime aspect. I like that we just don't know what it's just a foreign place, and like anything in Asia is just cool. Just in movies typically just looks awesome. All right, episode 3. I mean, 3 down, 3 to go. This is going quick. I do like these long episodes. I mean, it was at 54 minutes, so it does end like at 42 or so, but it feels like a good watch.
Yeah.
I think you watch this all together, it'd be like the best action movie, I'm sure, again. Like it's
it'd be great. I think, at least. I don't know. There's no way to know it because there's no way that I'm gonna wait 6 weeks to watch all these at once to like test it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. But I mean the ending though.
I was gonna say, we did learn about the super soldier serum that it doesn't change you. Like that was the guy's big sell. He's like, no more big muscly arms or anything.
Yeah.
He goes, so you can take this thing, you look the same. So I felt like that was big. It could be anybody. And then you were saying the ending. So then the ending ends with, so we get the Flag Smashers doing their thing, comes back around to Falcon and Bucky talking about the shield. Is this what you're talking about? Or are we talking about something else? Because we got to talk about this too. Bucky, Falcon saying, Sam saying, I made a mistake. Bucky's like, yeah, you did. You should have taken that shield. And he's like, no, it needs to be destroyed. People are killing themselves over this. And Bucky says, before you steal it, I'll take it.
I like that.
Yeah, I wonder why. You said last week, you're like, what if Bucky ends up with the shield? And I was like, Bucky just said he's going to take this thing.
Do it. Someone needs to. I don't think it needs to be destroyed. There's no way.
I saw some pretty cool fan art, like some mock-ups of him wearing the shield and having that red, white, and blue like outfit. It looked pretty cool.
Sam's being a baby, in my opinion.
Well, I think he's like, he just like regrets it all now.
Yeah.
I bet he wishes he just had that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what in part are you talking about?
Just the
what's the
Wakanda.
Oh yeah, of course, the biggest connection.
Go
ahead.
Ao was her name.
Yeah,
I had to look it up. I did not remember. I don't remember the specific Wakandans' names that are not Black Panther or Shuri at this point. So
no, it's Ao, and actually, you see me frantically looking through my notes over here. I'm like, I wrote this down. I'm just I'm missing one of them, I think. But it's Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, we got to get a side by side for Gilbert Brule and what's his name again? Jack Quaid. Just like we did for Mark Sanchez.
Okay,
and
so we have
Mark
Jack
Sanchez
Quaid
and Superman and Lois
and Daniel Bruhl side by side right now. What do you guys think? Do these guys look the same? PC Mike is really pushing that these two look a lot alike. When you're doing the back and forth and you found the perfect photos, which I'll use these.
I mean, it's his Wikipedia photo, one of them, and
Well,
it's the first picture of Jack Quaid. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry for Google.
Well, send them to me, and I'll put them in the slides. Listener, let us know what you think. Now we got to poll this thing.
Yeah.
We
It
don't
is.
have to.
No, it's like mostly madness.
We'll just do like a little poll on.
We did it. We did
I'm gonna
it
just make-
for Mark Sanchez.
I'm gonna make
and
burner accounts.
We did.
What's Superman and Lois's name?
Tyler
Hoechlin.
Hoechlin?
Yeah.
Hoechlin, yeah,
What do you
yeah.
look like?
I started that, by the way.
I was all on that one. I agree. That's 100%
started it?
likely.
I did. Yeah, Superman. We'll talk about it at the end. We'll do it during coming up. We'll wrap this up. Episode 3, Falcon the Winter Soldier. Next week, episode 4. Yes, Florence Kasumba returns to the MCU as Io. So if you don't remember from Black Panther, Io is a member of the Dora Milaje. That's like the group that guards the tribe. She protected T'Challa throughout his rule, although she was briefly forced to follow Killmonger when he had defeated T'Challa in the ritual combat. And this all happens in Black Panther, which we're watching in like 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll actually, highlight her character again. She shows up at the end and says, "I'm here for Zemo," because of everything we said. We think. He killed T'Chaka, which led to really all the events following then on out. The Civil War, everybody splitting up. And then now, T'Challa, we know that the late and great Chadwick Boseman has passed, R.I.P., and we just don't know what's going to happen with this character. The Black Panther world, Wakanda world, is in. Mike, there's one of your crossover titles right there.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah. So more to come. Any final thoughts from you guys on this week's episode? I think we did a good job wrapping it up. Anything that you want to say, Giggler, for next week? I mean, you're on a roll.
Let's see if my predictions can be Ayo's going to be pissed that Zemo killed T'Chaka, but she's probably not going to get her revenge in this next episode.
No.
Zemo's going to escape somehow. There's going to be disagreement because I bet Bucky and Cap are going to disagree about what they should do with Zemo. Or sorry, Bucky and Sam are going to disagree what to do with Zemo, given this new person is interjecting into this kind of feud. So from there,
it's going to have to be like a part ways situation. Otherwise,
yeah,
she's not going to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, like what? I don't know what they need. Do they need Zemo still right now at this point?
Well, he's making it to where they do. I mean, he killed that scientist, and they're just like, yeah, we'll still roll with you.
Yeah.
They're just like, at this point, rolling with a bad guy.
It's weird, but
it is weird.
They're gonna cut ties eventually. Is he gonna? He's not gonna die. I doubt it. This could be a show that has a second season.
Yeah,
that's my thing,
sure.
because 100% this could go on or be later down the road. There's a lull in Avengers overall activity, and maybe they have another adventure that we get to see. I'm down for it. I mean,
maybe she does end up getting him, and he ends up doing like time in Wakanda.
That'd be fine.
It's like, hey, you got to face justice for what you did finally.
Oh.
But he's been in prison for 7 years, but is that enough for killing a king? Probably not.
Probably not. I don't want to bring it up, but we're halfway done with this series.
I know. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It
with
is.
WandaVision being 9 and this only being 6, it's
and 4 is this week, so we're already. I mean, I feel like there's already only 2 left.
We're done.
There are
done.
3 left. 3 left. Listener, let us know what you think. Are you enjoying the show? We'll get you featured during fan mail or during our deep dive of these. We'll talk about episode 4 next week, all the way through to episode 6. Yeah, pretty cool. I didn't say it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I am enjoying it. But I know exactly what you're saying. It definitely does have, like, it's an action movie. It's like it's a movie spread out over 6 parts, and they're not messing around. It's like you're gonna see some cool stuff. There's espionage, and here's a real big thing. They're keeping us guessing on the story, so it's not so predictable to where all of us know exactly what's going to happen, besides Andy. Who's just, I feel like he's got the eye for it. I feel like you have that Winter Soldier, like that movie eye, like to where it's different than like WandaVision stuff that's just like so wild. So I didn't really say that. I am enjoying it though. Like
I'm
every single
it
episode it's ended, and I've thought that was fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I don't want it to end. I'm always like, I don't want this to end.
Yeah, I want the Winter Soldier arm, not the Winter Soldier eye.
There you go.
Yes, the Winter Soldier.
Got that power eye. I don't like that.
You got like Cyborg in here.